Hi, Nivedita. Great to have you on this chat here today. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you. Congratulations for being the awardee for social impact for 2021 for the Indo-Indians Extraordinary Women Awards. We are really honored to have you here, and I think what our viewers really want to know is a little bit more about you. Where are you from, and what you've been doing, and how did you get into all the great work that you've been doing. Part of the reason is okay, curiosity, but the other part is okay, a lot of people will be inspired by the kind of work you do, especially the young people in the community. And that's something that is way to give back to them, is by being seen as somebody who can inspire younger generations and keep that kind of work going. So congratulations, first of all.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mr. Sachin Gopalan and Miss Poonam and the whole committee of Indians. This award is, in fact, it's such a big surprise. I was completely blown off when I got this award and this recognition. And thank you very much. It's just an honor to receive this award.
But
So once again, thank you very much.
yeah, you've probably been so busy doing these things, you probably wouldn't even have thought of that there is an award like this. But a lot of people nominate you. You got a lot
Thank
of
you,
nominations. That's actually how the
thank you.
jury got to know about you, because of the nomination. So a lot
Oh,
of people felt inspired enough to want to now nominate you for this particular category. So that's a testament to all your good work. So I just
thank
wanted
you.
to
It's such
have
an
a chat
honor.
which will allow us to understand a little bit about who is Dr. Nivedita Shetty. So could you tell me a little bit about your childhood and how you got to this point? Because you are an Indo-Indians person, which means you have Indian origin. But
Yes.
people are curious to know, like, how long have you been here and what did you do in your childhood growing up?
Okay, well, I am one of the one of the very few lucky, how do you say, lucky child. I was an 80s child. I did not live on a gadget. We didn't have much gadgets, so we were all living. We had that momentum where we lived without. We had a childhood where we lived without gadgets.
Yeah.
So that I find myself really very lucky. And I'm the only child, and I came to Indonesia when I was just 8 months old. My dad has been here since 1977,
Okay.
and I was just a normal child. I was never the first comer. I was never a beauty queen. I was never good in any sports. So I was just an average child who just followed, who just went on with what life had got for me,
Uh-huh.
so, and then I was just hardworking, the typical Indian padho child. And then I went into medicine. And then once I got a medical seat, I never looked back. That's it.
So you studied in, or you lived in Bandung, am I right?
Yes, I lived in Bandung.
How was it growing up in a city? Which did you come often to Jakarta, or did you travel in other parts of Indonesia when you were a child, as in like your school day?
Um, well, initially my father worked in Indorama company in Purwakarta. So it does have a huge, does have a huge campus with a lot of Indian families. So my childhood was, playing around and having Hanuman Jayanti functions, and all these typical Indian festivals were celebrated in some corner of Indonesia, which was a mini India itself. And then my dad shifted to Sri Lanka in 1991 till 1994. And then we came back to Bandung, and we joined the local Indian club called Bharat Club also. And we were always in contact with our culture. We were always in touch with our community and our community people there. So
How
it was,
how good is
yeah,
your
yeah,
Bahasa
please.
Indonesia, for example?
Pardon?
How good is your Bahasa Indonesia?
Um, Quite good. I can vouch to that. I do speak with patients every day, and I do converse with them in a very detailed and a very convincing manner. I am a practicing surgeon, and I have been a practicing surgeon since the past 5 years.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
So,
you can use your
what
imagination.
what attracted you to the medical profession?
What attracted me to the medical profession? In fact, I was never attracted to the medical profession. Truly to say. But then I came from a. I had my dad, which I always, well, of course, every father, but this is what I appreciate in my father was he had like a vision. He had a good vision of according to the behavior of the child. So he thought that medicine would be the best profession for me. In fact, it was a huge Mahabharat going on in my family when he was like, "No, you have to do medicine," and I was like, "No, who's going to study so long?" But I don't regret. I don't regret at all listening
Moment,
to my father's decision. Yeah.
but you must have had a moment where you knew this was right for you.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Actually, the thing is because in fact, I believe medicine is not easy. Studying medicine is not easy, and surviving medical college is not easy. And even after that, it's more difficult. So you're already scared, oh, itna padna padega, ye karna padega, and you're like, who's going to take so much efforts when your dad has given you a great life? But still, you know it was worth it. I mean, fine, I took a chance. Okay, fine, let's just do it. Just put your 100% in it. And then when I finished medicine and when I entered surgery, I still believe that's the best decision my dad made for me, and I was correct to believe in his vision and follow his vision.
So, do you have any role models apart from your dad? Definitely, your dad is one of them. But who are the people you think are your role models that you aspire to?
My role model, of course, the next one would be my mother. Of course, if it wasn't for her and her support and her patience, I would not have been here. And the second, sorry, that is my second role model, and my third, I actually never had a role model. Truly to say, I never had a role model. I was just uh, I knew I had a particular character that when 10 people are telling me not to do enter medicine, that's when I will enter medicine, So I am the rebellious type who will never follow a certain norm. So I think I am my own inspiration and I just listen to myself.
Rebel.
I remember when I wanted to I wanted to enter surgery, and that was in fact when my dad was quite surprised, like, huh, you want to enter surgery? And there were like 10 different people telling me, why do you want to enter surgery? I'm like, okay, I have to enter surgery. So, I mean, it's, I was never on a rat race, never followed a rat race, and I never followed a norm. That's it.
So it's quite
In
obvious.
a good way. In
Yeah.
a good way, I never followed a norm. I never hurt anyone, but I never followed a norm.
So it looks like you like to set yourself challenges, and basically you like to aspire to
Yes.
your own challenges, and prove to yourself that you can do something to set your heart on.
Yes. Yeah. When it was like 10 people telling me that you can't do a particular thing, it is exactly when I wanted to prove myself. No, I can do it. It was for me. It was not for them anyways.
So, what point of time in your life did you start thinking of social impact? I know you don't think of it as something you want,
Yeah.
but it must have happened gradually or automatically.
Yeah.
Was there anything that triggered your want to contribute beyond just doing your job?
Um, yes. See, medicine is something which you have to be a very helpful person. See, it's part of my job. It is part of my profession where I have to be helpless. I mean, like I have to do it by my heart. Karam karte ja, fal ka umeed mat rakho, something like that. So I just followed it. I just did my job the way it is. But beyond that, I do contribute and I do help a lot of animal shelters, especially uh, towns where they have a lot of stray dogs and neglected dogs and neglected animals. I myself, I have two dogs who are rescued. So I found a lot of peace uh, by helping such shelters and helping such places, and I really found that inner peace. So I really like doing something like that. And बेजुबान जानवर है, and it is our responsibility also, to take care of such animals, and जिनका कोई नहीं होता है उनका खुदा होता है, so हम खुदा के बंदे बनकर उनका मदद करेंगे, तो so I find a lot of peace in it. So if humanitarily I am doing my job, without anything in return, like without expecting anything in return, if I get, well, of course, that's the award. But this is the extra thing that I am doing, that I do help a lot of animal shelters.
You never thought,
In the background, nobody knows I'm doing it. In fact, even my parents also sometimes might not know it. I do help them, but they don't know what's going on. Yeah.
thought becoming a veterinary doctor or specializing in that part of it? Has it ever
I I do regret not being a veterinary doctor. I do regret it, but it's okay. It's okay. I am helping. With whatever earnings that I'm getting, I am helping.
help somewhere else? Yeah. So you're able to.
Yeah. I am helping. So, probably, would be paying for a sick dog's operation, or giving the rice to a shelter or anything. So I am doing that.
So, what kind of surgeries do you do? I'm saying, you must be specializing in a certain
Yeah.
type of surgeries. A little bit.
Yeah. A little bit. Well, I am a general surgeon. Normally, something wow would be an accident case. We call it trauma and emergency surgery, and then something similar, something mild would be like removing a tumor, or doing operation of the breast. You know, uh, Carcinogenic
Yeah.
breast, and removing the thyroid gland. Yeah, there is a lot.
Are
There's
you?
a lot I do.
Which hospital are you with, Dr. Nivedita? Which
Pardon?
hospital are you with?
Hospital? Well, there is one government hospital, and then there are two private hospitals. The
Yeah.
government hospital is in a small place called Chililin. It's really in the interiors,
Uh-huh.
and that's why I was surprised. Like, I'm working in the middle of nowhere, and you people found me, because Jakarta is a huge, they have a huge facilities and very well known medical hospitals with well-known institutions, and you find some small Indian doctor working in one gaon in Chile. Yeah, so it's called Erasude Chiriden, and I'm working there. I'm a surgeon there. And another one is Rumah Sakit Karisma Cimareme, somewhere. It's in Padalarang, and one more hospital is in Padalarang as well, called Rumah Sakit Kartun.
So, and
It belongs.
yeah,
Yeah. Please
actually, it's
continue.
easy to find people who want to go and work in Jakarta or Jogja or some other big cities, right? It is more difficult. What you are doing is actually more selfless and it's a lot more impactful because you are giving your talent in places where they
Yeah.
don't have much access. And that is actually even more admirable that you think service is more important than looking at the economics of being a doctor in a big city or in a big town. So
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
that is actually the reason why your name came up and not any other doctor's name came up in this area, right?
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
So,
very much.
I want to ask you, uh, this whole journey of how you are working in some of the smaller places. Obviously, it inspires you to give free treatment to people who can't afford it, and
Yeah.
affordable. And that's a big part of the whole story because today there's a lot of controversy about how medical science and the profession of medicine is really commercialized a lot, and it has come to a point where it is unaffordable to the common man. And
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this is something that will only when treating people come from the heart and not really come from. I'm not saying I personally know a lot of doctors who do selfless service even in a big city, but it's few
Yeah.
because people enter medicine profession in a very commercial way by paying a lot of money and then looking at recovering that money. And it's an endless trap, and it's a rat race like how you put it, and you're not stuck in the rat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's one.
No, I'm
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not stuck in a rat race at all. And
yeah,
in fact, since we are living in Indonesia, we know about the BPJS system. So there's nothing That's actually a good thing, where you can have the patient who can come to you very confidently and not think about the bills. So all we have to do is just we have to do our job, and even it reduces the stress in our fact also. I mean, you know, patient paisa de paega, patient paisa nahi de paega. So even not many doctors think about it, but it does put little pressure on the doctor as well, whether if the patient can afford a particular treatment and all. And of course, surgery. I mean, of course, operation bola to mehenga hi hai.
Correct.
So I don't. Well, thanks to the Indonesian government who has introduced BPJS, it makes my work a lot easier, and uh, it is more like I don't have to think about certain things. I just do my job and I do the best I can, and that's it.
Yeah. So, we have heard, some of the people who nominated you told us a little bit about, you had a face mask production unit project. You did some
Oh
small.
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about these little initiatives, which actually are quite impactful, but people don't know much about it?
um. See, yeah, this is another thing was I know a lot of people who have mentally challenged children.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot of I have a small mass production company. It is not big, of course, but it's a small thing. And in that, I have employed a lot of parents who have mentally challenged children. So
Okay.
that's what I can tell about it. Like my marketing lady, she has a child who's got. I'm really I don't want to boast or say anything, but she lost her job in the pandemic.
Okay.
So she has a mentally challenged child. The child is 6 years old. One of my the main technician is also having a mentally challenged child. So I'm just trying to help and give employment to people who have lost their job in the pandemic and they have mentally challenged children. That's it. Beyond that, I don't get anything out of the company. In fact, I have invested in the company, but I don't take anything out of it. Nothing. My father has also invested. We don't take anything out of it. We only thing we get is the headache, the complaints, and the heart attacks, mini heart attacks that we get. Otherwise, beyond that, where money is concerned, we don't take anything out of it. So it's whatever it comes, it just rotates in the company, but nothing is for me or
You
my
know,
dad or my
correct. But sometimes, the most impactful are the simplest ideas. Doesn't have to
yeah.
be very simple idea
Yeah,
that solves a problem is something makes an impact. Do you see
yes,
yourself, now that you have won the award, you've been recognized, it obviously means that, the things you're doing are the right kind of things for people to do. So
yes,
have you thought of, what are you going to be doing in the next few years? Do you have any grand plans? I'll tell you why you should answer this, because people will be watching, and there may be
yes.
somebody who feels compelled to come to you and say that, look, hey, can we do something together? So this is really a way for you to tell people that, look, if you want to be a part of something that I'm doing, maybe we should talk. So do you have any plans that you would like to, share with the audience?
Not at the moment. Seriously, I'm a person who goes with the flow. And even like, for example, my mask company, it was something which was thought within a month. Within a month, it's like, okay, these people are there. I just don't want to just give them money or something. It was just in the moment that I did it.
Yeah.
Just I just did it, and I didn't even tell my parents about it. And it was after 3 months when I told my parents about it. My dad was, of course, very proud, and he was shocked. "बाप रे, ये और क्या कर कर बैठी है?" And my mother was even like, "हाँ, तूने ये किया?" When I told her about the concept, she was very happy. So at the moment, I am a very at the moment person. I'll make a decision at this very moment. Like because I'm a surgeon, I have to make quick decisions. I have to make the right decisions. I have to make quick right decisions this very moment. So I don't think much about the future. So go with the flow, and when the opportunity comes, I'll make the right, uh, instant right or wrong decision. And but at the moment, I have not thought of anything big.
Okay. So, looking at the experience that you've had, you worked with a lot of local people. You
Yeah.
interacted a lot with Indians, Indonesians, half Indian, half Indonesians.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is your experience as a whole, being of Indian origin tag? How do people interact with you, especially the locals? What has been? Would you like to share, especially outside the big cities? How do they react to you being Indian origin?
Well, well, truly to say, I don't want to boast it, but I do end up becoming the Bollywood star in the middle of nowhere. People, I've got people who've just come to just, mm, ada dokter dari India, cantik sekali, and this. I've had these comments to hear, and I've just got people just come in, they just want to see that Indian doctor, but still, and but it's just about our nature, how we talk to them, how we explain to them, and everything that also makes a big impact, because I could have a pretty face, but if my attitude is not right, nobody's going to come to me, so I have to have that particular convincing good nature. So it's all about my character and the way I talk. So because this is that my attitude is just going to, that is what is going to take me further, not my pretty face.
Because we,
So
as far as as a community of Indians in Indonesia,
yeah,
global Indians, I would say we are all at some level global Indians. We are setting an example about what is our country,
yeah,
and who we are as a people, and you know
yeah,
you're a beacon of the example of India, right? In your
yeah, yeah.
area that you're in. So that's the reason why I was asking, because we have all kinds of reactions, and in Indonesia especially, there are so many great stories, so many good stories of people interacting across communities, which is very commendable. So,
Yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, Nivedita, I want to, maybe, this may be a time for me to ask you to think about if you had a message for the young people. And these are, I'm talking about teenagers, or, people who will start working in the next maybe 10 years when they start. Any message or something that you feel you could tell them that might help them to understand what they should do next, or maybe look at the pandemic may be one example, that you may have some words because of what is happening in the pandemic, their world is going to be different. These kids
Oh,
are
definitely.
way too,
Their world is,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Any
Their
observation,
world is,
maybe some advice, whatever you feel like.
I have just one word for everybody. That is, always listen to the expert. Always listen to the expert, and always listen to the person who has the most experience. In my case, it was my parents, and the kids should decide, should have the ability to decide that who is the person or the people who are thinking the best for them, and listen to them and follow them.
Well, that's a good piece of advice into.
Yeah.
So, I heard you say that you grew up without any gadgets and internet. How is
Yeah.
that playing a role in your life today? Has it been a huge change? Because does it give you access to things that you need for your job, for your work, etc.?
uh of course, technology, if you say, it's a good thing in a good way, but then I do miss my old days where I used to go to the library to look for certain subjects. I do miss my the actual mota textbooks, and I do miss uh, uh, like I need not go to Google all the time. The efforts of going to the library and going and coming and learning and memorizing so many things, I do miss that part, because I think I'm becoming a little bit of, I'm having memory loss because of these gadgets. you know, the mild memory loss because of these gadgets. I do miss those. I do miss my textbooks. Rather than just opening up Google or something. Those days were fun, going to the library and everything. So,
Ah,
anyways,
I agree.
um,
Uh,
yeah, I do miss. I do miss even reading a book. Simple thing like reading my storybooks and everything. I do miss that.
so, what are your hobbies, and how much time do you spend, or do you get to spend on your hobbies?
Okay, my profession doesn't allow me to follow any of my hobbies at all, because you're just in this in this uh condoned time when you just have you like time is like the moment I want to do something, then I'll get a call. Oh, doctor, ada patient gini gini gini. So at this moment, I can't follow any of my hobbies. But my hobby, I don't know whether if it is my hobby is to try different cuisines
Okay.
and you know, and I am a person who lives to eat. So I just love trying different cuisines and try different type of food and go traveling to different places, which of course can happen. But I would like to explore different types of food and cultures and everything. I used to love to play basketball at one time, but then I entered medicine and I had to quit it.
Talk a little bit about your, your foodie hobby. Do you like to cook as well, or
I do like to cook. Now
does
that
it?
I'm stuck in India, if people ask me if it was not have been medicine, what would have you chosen next? And with no second thought, it would be I would have loved to become a chef. But then
Ah,
and I gave up that idea because the when I saw videos regarding PETA and everything, I did not want to cook with animal products.
I
So I
understand.
gave up that idea.
Are you
But
vegetarian?
I'm a vegetarian by choice. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I'm a
You know
vegetarian
that,
by choice.
that comes to the question of, because I know you're Mangalorean, and I have never met a
Yes,
Mangalorean who doesn't love their food. So it runs in the community, and and many Indian communities are like that. So
yes, yes.
would you say that you have a particular favorite among the Indonesian food?
Particular favorite and amongst the Indonesian food. Oh, that can't happen because in Indonesia, every 5 kilometers it's a different food and they're all my favorite. So, if I travel in Bandung, it's going to be my lotek. In Jakarta, it's going to be my ketoprak and gado-gado. And if I'm in maybe in Pangandaran, it's just going to be nasi tahu tempe and kangkung for me. So I can't. Since I love to eat and travel, I can't have a particular favorite food. But my all-time favorite, which I can't live without in Indonesia, is the tahu and the tempe. I love that. Which it's my comfort food. If there'll be people having nasi padang, and I'm going to be the most happiest person with just fried tahu, tempe, and sambal, that's it, and rice.
Fantastic, because that's a big challenge to be in Indonesia and to be vegetarian and to travel.
Yeah.
To be able to travel to so many places, it's quite a
Yes.
challenge to be able to find vegetarian food everywhere, because the concept definition of vegetarian varies.
It's actually not difficult if you just explain it in correct terms to the waiter, and then if you just tell them, "Listen, I don't eat meat and make me a vegetarian dish." In fact, that's a nicer choice. Then the chef will make you something fresh and really nice. So I do eat out. I do eat out. I don't deny that, and I love eating outside, and I love eating. But I do make sure I tell my preferences to the chef or the waiter. And if I do travel in a group, like for example, if we go in a tour or something, because I just don't want to burden other people around, I will just say, okay, I do eat an egg. So that is one compromise that I have to do because I just don't want to burden people around me, just oh ye khati nahi hai, ye bahut ye hai. So I will compromise to an egg if I don't want to burden people. That's it. But 99.9% of the times I will choose a vegetarian meal.
Fantastic. So actually, that's a
Yeah.
great conversation. We got to get to know you a little better, and I
Yeah.
think many of our viewers of Indo-Indians would also like to know more about you, not just about you, what you're doing, but be inspired by some of the things you've been doing, and maybe you might find opportunities to reach out to people and work with more people who may be interested in doing the things you're doing. So once again, I would like to really congratulate you. It's been outstanding. I've been a part of the jury as well, and I've seen all the nominations that came through, and it was clearly a very well articulated what the kind of work you've been doing, and it's a privilege actually to be able to have this chat with you. We really
Thank
look
you very much.
forward to more things that you're going to do, because you are at the actually at the very early stage of all the things that you're going to be doing. So you
Thank you very much.
out and see, okay, what is Dr. Nivedita Shetty doing now? And I hope you'll get
Yeah,
to interact with Indo-Indians community and on the portal with Poonam especially, and be able to, be part of everything that the Indian community stands for. Thank you so much.
thank
Uh,
you so much. Terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih juga untuk ikut hadir hari ini. I would
Baik.
really like to, have a chat with you maybe in a few months or maybe in a
Sure,
year,
sure.
because this awards is actually once a year. And
Okay.
we would be having somebody else winning your category next year. So that would be something that,
I'm excited. Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
fact,
I will have to work harder, I think, I think I'll try to think of something now. Now that you've given me a challenge that you're going to give this award to someone else. So now I don't want to give this award to someone else. So I will be doing something so that I don't give this award to someone else. Just kidding. Just kidding. Don't tell Dr. Nivedita something which she cannot do. Okay, now you put a lot of tension on my head.
thanks a lot so much.
Yeah.